The legend has returned, folks. Song Jin-woo, our favorite overpowered protagonist, is back for Season 2, and this time he's trading his nap schedule for some high-stakes drama. Smash that like button and leave a comment for Part 2, because the adventure is just getting started. Song Jin-woo's day starts with a rude awakening, literally. His sister, Jinna, calls him early in the morning, shocked to find out that he's still in bed. After all, saving the world doesn't exactly come with a flexible schedule. She reminds him of the parent-teacher meeting at her school that afternoon. Jin-woo, realizing he's completely forgotten, panics and rushes to get ready. When he arrives at the school, Jinna's shock isn't limited to his tardiness. She's stunned by his appearance. Jin-woo looks polished and sharp, the kind of guy who could walk straight onto a runway. Her astonishment is echoed by the girls at the school, who whisper excitedly, calling him handsome. Their eyes sparkle with admiration, and some even try to sneak photos. Jinna, ever the teasing sister, suggests setting him up with one of her friends, but Jin-woo playfully pulls her cheek and tells her to quit joking. Inside the teacher's room, the pair meet Jinna's teacher, who is practically glowing with pride. She hands Jin-woo Jinna's progress report, praising her intelligence and politeness. She's a role model for her peers, the teacher says with a smile. To top it off, she reveals that Jinna's excellent performance on a recent mock exam has opened the door to medical school. Jin-woo, clearly proud, nods along. However, the teacher advises him not to put too much pressure on her. Then, the conversation takes an unexpected turn. The teacher brings up a hypothetical scenario. What if Jinna awakens as a hunter? Jin-woo's expression hardens as he firmly states that he would never allow her to enter such a dangerous profession. The teacher, unbothered by the tension, moves on to ask Jin-woo for a favor. To talk to one of Jinna's friends, Song-yi, and convince her to return to school. Later, Jin-woo meets Song-yi, who recognizes him immediately. She's less interested in hearing about Jinna and more focused on declaring her passion for the hunter's life. Jin-woo, trying to reason with her, points out the harsh reality. As a low-ranked hunter, she can't make a stable living. Sure, you made some money with our strike team, but that was a one-time thing, he says. Song-yi, undeterred, snaps back. Weren't you an E-ranked hunter once too? Jin-woo, realizing this argument won't go anywhere, invites her to accompany him to a gate, saying he has something to show her. Meanwhile, Fang Dong, a high-ranking and bitter member of the Hunters Association, arrives at the airport. His mission? Revenge. Dong is here to settle a score with Jin-woo over the death of his brother Dong-sung, whose team Jin-woo had wiped out during a previous raid. When asked about his stay, Dong makes it clear he doesn't plan to linger. He's focused on his target and doesn't care for subtlety. A Hunter Association member discreetly monitors him, wary of his intentions. Back with Jin-woo, he prepares Song-yi for her first raid at a C-rank gate owned by the White Tiger Guild. This gate is typically used to train freshers. The team includes King Chu, an A-rank tank who makes no effort to hide his disdain for working with low-rank hunters. The team lineup consists of an A-rank, 5 B ranks, 2 C ranks, and Jin-woo and Song-yi as the only E ranks. King Chu scoffs. How long are we going to stand here talking? You know this isn't a field trip, right? I can't believe I'm babysitting E ranks. Jin-woo, unfazed, silently hopes the dungeon's dangers will convince Song-yi to rethink her career choice. As they step into the gate, Jin-woo senses something off. Suddenly, the C-rank gate transforms into a red gate, a deadly anomaly that traps hunters in a dungeon disconnected from the outside world. The only way out is to defeat the dungeon's boss or wait for a dungeon break. Jin-woo tries to take Song-yi out of the gate, but the exit is sealed. Outside, White Tiger Guild leader Bak hears about the red gate and rushes to the scene, visibly shaken by the news. Inside, the team finds themselves in an icy wasteland. Snow stretches as far as the eye can see, and the cold bites through their gear. Jin-woo explains the grim reality of red gates to the group, and the mood turns somber. No one can help us from the outside, Jin-woo says. We're on our own. Just as the group starts strategizing, an ice elf ambushes them, firing arrows. Jinwoo leaps into action, catching an arrow mid-flight to save Songyi. But another team member isn't so lucky and falls to the elf's attack. The elves recognize Jinwoo's strength and retreat, but the damage is done. King Shu takes charge, dividing the team into smaller groups for survival. However, he refuses to take weaker hunters with him, declaring, "We need to focus on those who can fight." A B-rank hunter, Park, decides to join Jinwoo instead. "Kim didn't even notice the arrow," she says, "but you did. You're no E-rank, are you?" Kim's group heads toward an open field while Jinwoo's team ventures into the forest. The tension escalates as Kim's group encounters ice bears, powerful creatures that overwhelm them despite his leadership. Meanwhile, Jinwoo's group faces the boss of the ice bears. Jinwoo summons his shadow soldiers, but the battle proves challenging. His strongest soldier, Igris, finally steps in, defeating the boss with precision and power. Jinwoo marvels at Igris's strength, thinking, "He might be stronger than me." As Dong continues his search for Jinwoo, he learns of the Red Gate and assumes Jinwoo won't survive. Inside the dungeon, Jinwoo's team celebrates their victory, but their relief is short-lived. The ominous presence of a new, more formidable enemy looms in the shadows. And that's it for episode 1. Will Jinwoo and his team escape the icy dungeon, or will they fall prey to its relentless dangers? We then see that Jinwoo stands triumphantly over the massive death bears, flexing his power as a necromancer. With a simple command, the bear corpses transform into shadow bears, joining his growing army. Outside the portal, Sang explains that the strike force has been trapped for 3 hours, which translates to 3 days inside due to the portal's warp time. Red gates are known for being deadly, so Dong-Su confidently declares Jinwoo must be dead and gets ready to leave. But before walking off, he demands to know why Jinwoo was with the White Tiger Guild in the first place. Sang casually explains that Jinwoo was just a curious acquaintance tagging along to observe a C-rank mission. Dong-Su isn't buying it. Out of nowhere, Dong-Su grabs Sung by the throat, accusing him of hiding something. He knows Sung has a knack for spotting talented hunters. Before things escalate further, Baek steps in, transforming into his battle mode and telling Dong-Su to back off. Dong-Su, unfazed, mocks Baek as a big fish in a small pond. Both Baek hunters then release their overwhelming power, sending shockwaves of terror through the crowd. Sung, panicking, knows an S-rank brawl could flatten the whole area. Despite his warnings, the two clash, and the tension skyrockets. Meanwhile, inside the portal, Kim Chul breathes a sigh of relief after escaping the elves, only to stumble upon the shredded corpses of the death bears. He's horrified and can't believe the weak E-ranks he abandoned could be responsible. Convinced something stronger, like ice elves, caused the carnage, Kim retreats. Back outside, Dong-Su is impressed when Jin Chul intervenes to stop the S-rank battle. Jin Chul humbly admits his arms are still attached only because the two S-ranks held back at the last moment. Trying to calm things down, Jin Chul insists Jinwoo is just a harmless E-rank. He even mentions a recent re-evaluation, confirming Jinwoo's lack of power. Dong-Su dismisses this as a cover-up, still convinced Jinwoo is somehow tied to his brother's death. But if not Jinwoo, Dong-Su's second suspect is the rich and shady Leo. When asked why he's targeting Jinwoo, Dong-Su coldly replies, "It's just an excuse to kill." Before Dong-Su can act, he's called away, muttering that Jinwoo is lucky this time. Inside the gate, Jinwoo's group sits around a campfire trying to stay warm. The peace is broken when a furious Kim Chul storms in, shocked to see the weaklings thriving while his group suffers. Dressed in warm gear and surrounded by food and blankets, Jinwoo's group looks way too comfortable. Kim accuses them of hoarding supplies and blames them for his team's deaths. He targets Park, suspecting she joined the weaker group because she knew the truth. Demanding answers, he starts a countdown, threatening to kill everyone if no one confesses. When no one speaks up, he snaps, screaming Jinwoo's name and preparing to attack. Before he can make a move, Jinwoo appears, instantly overpowering him. The group is stunned as Jinwoo calmly scolds Kim for blaming others for his failures. Jinwoo then senses a dark, sinister presence nearby and accuses Kim of attracting even more trouble. Jinwoo orders them to drop their stealth. The ice elves reveal themselves, with their leader mocking the humans and noting that Jinwoo's strength is unusual. To everyone's shock, Jinwoo responds fluently in the elves' language. Even he's surprised by this skill, quickly guessing it's thanks to his cheat system. The elven leader explains their presence. One of his men sensed Jinwoo's immense power and wanted to challenge him. Before the leader can finish, Jinwoo decapitates the challenger, silencing him in an instant. The leader, amused by Jinwoo's brutality, taunts him further. Jinwoo, uninterested in small talk, launches an attack. The leader skillfully defends himself, and Jinwoo realizes this fight won't be easy. The leader smirked and asked Jinwoo, "You're no human. Why pretend to be?" Barca explains that elves are driven by a voice commanding them to kill humans, but oddly, they don't hear it when it comes to Jinwoo. Jinwoo's suspicious now, wondering if this has something to do with his cheat system. Barca tries to talk Jinwoo into handing over the humans, saying it's the smart move, but Jinwoo isn't here to make deals. He demands to know why the elves are hunting humans. Just as Barca starts to explain, his body glitches like a buggy NPC repeating himself. Creepy, right? Jinwoo, unfazed, refuses to back down. Barca warns Jinwoo that he's making a big mistake and reminds him the elves outnumber him. Jinwoo, being Jinwoo, just smirks and summons his shadow army, leaving everyone in shock. Barca mocks the army as useless, but Jinwoo doesn't care. The fight begins and it's absolute chaos. The humans in Jinwoo's group try to run, but the elves target them. Jinwoo steps in, wrecking the elven archers like a one-man army. However, as the battle goes on, Jinwoo starts to see why Barca was so cocky. The elves are stronger than expected, and keeping his shadow army alive is draining his magic power. Worse, Barca is clearly stronger than him. When Barca goes one-on-one with Jinwoo, even Igris can't tip the odds. Jinwoo realizes his regular soldiers won't cut it, and he'll need something stronger. The two formally introduce themselves before clashing. Barca dominates the fight, but Jinwoo pulls a slick move by teleporting his blade mid-attack, keeping Barca guessing. The back and forth is intense, but Jinwoo gets pushed back. Barca admits he hasn't had this much fun in years, and Jinwoo responds by dropping a massive meteor on him, catching him off guard. Meanwhile, Kim Chul, who's been seething in the corner, decides to take a cheap shot at Jinwoo during the chaos. But Jinwoo's always 10 steps ahead. He orders Igris to create a smokescreen, and in the confusion, Igris takes Kim Chul out for good. Jinwoo raises Kim as a shadow soldier, naming him Iron, and the guy wakes up with a scream loud enough to shake the battlefield. Seeing Iron, Barca retreats for a moment, but then he's back, demanding Jinwoo and Igris join the fight. Jinwoo agrees, and the 3-on-1 showdown kicks off. Barca handles all three with ease, but Iron's constant screaming starts to annoy him. He focuses on taking Iron out, but Iron proves to be a tank, shrugging off every hit. While Barca's distracted, Jinwoo takes his chance and lands a clean stab, finally catching Barca off guard. Jinwoo gives him credit for lasting this long, but things quickly go downhill for Barca. When he turns to check on his army, he's greeted by the absolute nightmare of Jinwoo's shadow army having wiped out his entire clan. Still confident, and maybe a little delusional, Barca thinks beating Jinwoo alone will turn the tide. Jinwoo tosses a dagger at him, and Barca mocks him, calling it a rookie mistake. That is, until the dagger boomerangs back and destroys Barca's weapon. Jinwoo doesn't stop there. He orders Iron to hold Barca in place while his magic soldiers unleash a fiery attack. But, of course, Barca refuses to go down quietly, breaking free and trying to launch a counterattack. Jinwoo, however, shuts him down with a decisive strike, reminding Barca that the fight is over. Even after Iron dramatically stomps on Barca's lifeless body, Jinwoo has to remind his troops to tone it down. The team finally catches their breath, relieved that the nightmare is over. Jinwoo casually tells them it's time to leave, but takes one last look at Barca's body. Outside the portal, Song and Beck are debating whether to pack it up and go home. Beck thinks Kim Chul might still make it, but when the portal opens, only 2 of his guild members, along with Song-yi and the last one, Jinru, come out of the portal. Beck's shock quickly turns into confusion about what happened to Kim Chul and the others. Beck demands answers, but Jinwoo, who's clearly exhausted, brushes him off and says, "Ask someone else in your guild." Beck is stunned, interpreting this as a power move. He tries to press Jinwoo, but Jinwoo calmly reminds him that he saved the surviving members and deserves some gratitude. Beck, realizing he's been schooled, apologizes. Afterward, Sang tells Beck how impressive Jinwoo is and hints at recruiting him. Meanwhile, Jinwoo drops Songyi home and she thanks him, excited to see him again. On his way back, Jinwoo reflects on the mission. Despite all the chaos, less than a day has passed in the real world. To his annoyance, all he got for his trouble was a single dagger. He also fails to raise Barca as a shadow soldier, which only adds to his disappointment. The next day, Jinwoo meets up with Leo, who shows up dressed like he's going to a cosplay convention. Before their mission, Jinwoo insists they pick someone up, Songyi. Leo is immediately suspicious of how casual Jinwoo and Songyi are with each other. When Jinwoo asks Songyi if she slept well, Leo misinterprets the situation entirely. Clearly uncomfortable, Leo reminds Jinwoo that Songyi is underage. Jinwoo, oblivious to Leo's concern, brushes it off, leaving Leo even more worried about what's going on. That's a wrap for episode 2. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.